Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I am your gracious host, the most honorable J Red. Man, y'all make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is going across your screen right now, youtube.com/Red's View. Also, hit the notification bell. Hit the like button or the dislike button. It's all good as long as we get this algorithm going. It's a lot going on. But today we're going to do something a little different. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is unpopular opinion. And when I say unpopular opinion, what does that mean? It goes against what everybody says, what everybody may believe, what everybody may think. So, with that being said, unpopular opinion. Silkk the Shocker was not trash. Unpopular opinion. Silkk the Shocker was not trash. Now, I'm sure all of you are going crazy right now. How can I say such a thing like this? Who in their right mind would say that Silkk the Shocker was not a trash rapper? Oh, I know all of it. And if you've seen my TikTok and you've seen my Instagram, I shared a video about 2 years ago that Silkk the Shocker said that he didn't rap off beat, all this other stuff, right? So I'm gonna break down and give my reasons as to why Silkk the Shocker was not trash. And by the end of this video, I bet you agree with me. At least somewhat agree with me. Well, y'all be trying to rewrite history like he wasn't that dude in the late 90s. In the year 1998, you're acting like he wasn't that dude, one of them ones back then. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh your memory. We're gonna do a little memory jog today. All right. So let's go ahead and dispel this belief right here. The whole Silkk the Shocker didn't rap on beat. He rapped off beat. That is not true. That's not true. Okay. I agree with what he said in an interview on the Art of Dialogue. He pretty much said, no, I didn't rap off beat. It's just people didn't listen to it correctly. I had a different sound. So this is my belief. Silkk the Shocker didn't rap off beat. He just had a different delivery than every other rapper. He had a certain unique, a certain pattern. You know how everybody usually goes with a certain type of rhythm. Silk's was a little different. He more like talked when he rapped, if you know what I mean. He would say different, he would try to put so many syllables and different things and different sounds into one bar. So if I'm going like this, I rap like this and I rap like that, he'd be like, I rap like this because I rap like that, and you know, some and say stuff in between the bars to make them kind of be a little it sounded off, but it wasn't off beat. I've heard people rap off beat, meaning if I'm snapping like this and they're going, yeah, melodies go something like that, like that's off beat. Silkk the Shocker was not rapping off beat, so we can stop this, man. He had a certain type of flow, and the reason I'm saying this is because y'all let E40 get away with it. Oh yeah, y'all let E40 get away with it. E40, y'all say he raps in cursive. Silkk the Shocker, in my opinion, is a different version of E40. All right. I'm trying to think of other rappers that kind of rap like that too, but some of those Bay Area rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you listen to GNX, the song GNX from the GNX album with Kendrick Lamar, they are rapping what you would think is that quote unquote offbeat, but it's that bass sound. But it's not offbeat, it's just a different way of rhyming. Okay. Silkk the Shocker was not a bad rapper and he didn't rap off beat. So let's go ahead and clarify that. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the next belief that I have. And it ain't even belief. This is true. He was a top star on No Limit Records. Let's not try to act like, again, Silkk wasn't one of them dudes. Y'all trying to rewrite history and act like Silkk the Shocker wasn't a top star. That man was a top star on No Limit Records. Okay? We're refreshing your memory today. If he was so trash, how come he was a top star on No Limit Records? Now, No Limit Records had plenty of artists on there. They released like what, 50 albums? They released like 50 albums in 1998, and he was at the top of the totem pole. Now, of course, I know y'all gonna say because he was Master P's brother. Did that have something to do with it? Maybe, but partially. But numbers don't lie. It wasn't like Master P was going and buying those albums. It wasn't like Master P was forcing people to listen to Silkk the Shocker. Silkk the Shocker came out. He was a part of the group True. All right. And you had other artists that were on there that weren't doing as good as Silkk the Shocker. And if you remember, it wasn't just the top star No Limit, one of the top stars, period. Okay. Y'all remember, let me show you this. When he appeared on this Source. You remember he appeared on the Source cover? The hottest, some of the hottest rappers at that time when DMX was booming, Corrupt. You had everybody. Why would Silk the Shocker be on there? And Peter Guns, Cameron, Big Pun. You know, you had MOP, a bunch of people that were on here. Is that MOP? No, that's Capadonna, Noriega, Cannabis. So Silk the Shocker was on this front cover. Okay, he was one of them dudes back then, man. So we're not going to try to rewrite history as if he wasn't that. He was a top star. Okay, he did big collaborations. He had Maya. Him and Maya had a thing going on. And if you remember, Charge It to the Game. Charge It to the Game was one of the top albums on No Limit. He was a top seller on No Limit. Okay, you remember when Charge It to the Game came out? I remember, if you were in the hood or any neighborhood, if you went through somebody's CD book during 1998, you were going to see Charge It to the Game. That is a No Limit classic. Okay, I'm not going to say a hip hop classic, but definitely a No Limit Records classic. There's a few classics that they had. You know, when you think about Ghetto D, that was one. When you think about Silkk The Shocker's album, they had a couple of classics, but what stands out when you think of No Limit album covers, you do think about Silkk The Shocker handing out that card, Charge It to the Game. That was a top No Limit Records album. So let's not try to y'all keep trying to rewrite history, act like he wasn't that dude. He was selling some of the most records. Okay, you had different artists on there. You had C Murder, you had Mystical, Mia X, Snoop Dogg. You had all of them, right? But not every single person was going platinum. Some people were going gold, but Silkk the Shocker wasn't selling just a million. He was selling millions. Okay, make that plural. Put that S on there, baby. That's what he was doing. So y'all trying to act like Charge It to the Game wasn't No Limit classic? Y'all trying to act like it wasn't a No Limit top album? Come on now. Come on now. So he was top, you know, on the top doing that. Magazine covers, album sales. And if he was so trash, how in the world was he selling more? How did he have more hit records than other notable No Limit artists? Okay. He was, now y'all say Fiend is one of the dope ones. He was selling more than Fiend. Y'all say Mac is the most lyrical one. He was selling more than Mac. And I'm not trying to shit on any one of those artists. I'm just saying he had hits. Silkk had a couple of bops, you know what I'm saying? A few bops, actually, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he would hold his own. Okay, he held his own with Bone Thugs and Harmony. Remember that? Remember that Hook It Up song? He held his own with that. So he went with the best of them. He had some dope verses. And when you talk about he's rapping off beat, right? There are songs that he had where he was doing that traditional rhyming pattern. His first album, The Shocker, remember that? And that single that he had, The Shocker, one of his hardest songs ever. You know, when he was like strapped with the 449, changed his album went solo. 1, 2, 3, you know, Silkk G. I know this rap game like I know my ABCs, you know? Or did he say dope game or rap game? I forgot, but he was killing it. Come on, man. That Shocker album, he wasn't always, you know, he wasn't always rapping in cursive. He would rap fast and different things like that. So yeah, Silkk the Shocker held his own. He was doing his thing. And he had one of the dopest verses on Make Him Say, I'm not Eric B, but guaranteed to write the whole cry. Can't remember all the lyrics, but he did his thing. Okay. He did his thing, man. He was holding his own. You remember his verses, acting like you don't. Come on now. And then this is another thing with Silkk the Shocker. He was a heartthrob for the ladies. Ladies, come on now. Y'all know that y'all were lusting over Silkk the Shocker back then. Y'all love Silkk the Shocker, man. You would see back then, I bet you had some Silkk the Shocker posters and stuff like that. Women used to love Silkk the Shocker. They always used to be, oh, he's the cute one, you know, out of the Miller Boys and stuff like that. I remember, see, I'm going back because I remember in 1998 when Silkk the Shocker was popping. All y'all dudes wanted to be like Silkk the Shocker. When we used to play, like, you know, how you would play being somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like if you were playing Ninja Turtles, something like that. Hey, I'm Donatello on whatever. You know, when Master P had No Limit cracking, he made young kids want to have record labels. And you'd be like, okay, I'm signing No Limit. I'm Silkk the Shocker. I'll be C Murder. I'll be Master P. Come on, man. Come on. It ain't my fault. Y'all acting like that wasn't hard. But yeah, like I said, man, with his image, he had the ladies going crazy at that time. That's why they wanted to match him with Maya and all this other stuff. So he was the youngest, one of the youngest ones in the camp, and had the ladies going crazy. So let's not act like He wasn't no heartthrob, no homo, but I'm just saying, like, that's what he had going on at that time. So shout out to Silkk the Shocker for that. And the last thing is he had an image. Okay. Talked about the heartthrob, but he had an image. Those Scullies, that man would now would be bare chested. He wouldn't have no shirt on and have that Scully. He made having a Scully popular. Okay. That was his image. Later on, he went to hats. But when I think of Silkk the Shocker, you think of that skull cap that he had and some chain and a no limit chain. That was his thing. It would be hot as hell outside. That boy would have that skull cap on, and that's how you knew it was Silkk the Shocker. A tall dude with a skull cap on. When I put a skull cap on to this day, I think about Silkk the Shocker. Oh, I got that Silkk the Shocker going on. He made skull caps popular. Okay, that was his look. That was his image. He had an image. Everybody on No Limit didn't have an image. Okay, Mac didn't have an image. Fiend didn't have a quote unquote image. They were dope rappers, but what stood out about Silkk the Shocker is that he dressed the part. He looked the part. Okay. Now it's silly to look at now, but when he was rocking them Scullies, that's what you would look at. That was Silkk the Shocker's look. Okay. So with all that being said, we had to do a memory jog and act like, because y'all be trying to act like Silkk wasn't that dude. And I had to sit here and be the one to tell you that I remember in the late 90s when Silkk the Shocker had it cracking. Okay. So, like I said, he was not a trash rapper. Y'all trying to forget what happened back in the day. If you agree with me, go ahead, hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. Am I tripping? Do you agree with me? Or do you still think that he was trash? Because some of y'all gonna say, well, I always thought he was trash, but like you're gonna say that. I get it. You always thought he was trash, but he was just so popular. He was Masterpiece brother and all this. Talent doesn't lie, numbers don't lie. And that was back then before you could manipulate streams. That was back before you could do certain things to manipulate. Now you could buy some records, but why would Master P buy records to make sure that Silkk was going platinum? That was based off of his talent alone. And y'all can't tell me that It Ain't My Fault wasn't hard. It Ain't My Fault Part 2 wasn't hard. Him and Mystical trading back verses, that wasn't hard. Charge It to the Game wasn't hard. Oh yeah. So yeah, man. Like I said, man, let me know in the comments what you feel about this. Make sure, of course, that you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/RedsView. Also, follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. And I will see you on the next episode of Reds View. Peace.